Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another 1/6 scale custom head sculpt unboxing and review video. Now today we are taking a look at two different custom sculpts produced by none other than V.Collectibles. If y'all aren't familiar with his work, pause this video and go ahead and check out the last video where we took a look at some of his previous work. He basically project manages a team of awesome creators in the 1/6 scale community to get these pieces made. Now on the left we do have another Homelander sculpt, and on the right we do have a T'Challa based off his appearance in the Black Panther film. So yeah, I personally am very excited to check these out. But before we do, bear in mind they are handmade custom items. That means they aren't licensed, so keep that in the back of your mind when you're making your purchasing decisions. Also, both of these sculpts are sold out. When you're scrolling his Instagram page and you see that something is open for commission, that means if you want it, it's time to get your name on the list, because once they sell out, that's pretty much it. You won't see them again. Now, let's start off with Homelander first. Now, if you'll remember, recently we took a look at the regular Homelander sculpt. This one has a ton more personality because it's his crazy maniacal laugh. We do see Tony Starr, the gentleman who plays Homelander, making this expression in the series, and I think that V.Collectibles and the team nailed it here. This looks awesome. I love the expression, it's bang on in terms of the likeness. I love the gloss in the mouth and on the eyes. The hair has a ton of texture, and the paint applications are gorgeous. Now it's worth noting, unless otherwise stated, most of the sculpts will come unpainted, so you do have to find an artist to paint it for you. But I mean, look at the end result. This right here is the original that we took a look at recently, and I have to say they both look awesome. I believe they were sculpted by the same artist. I can see a lot of similarities here, but they were painted by two different people. I mean, they both look great, but I personally am actually leaning towards this one. I'm a huge fan of sculpts with personality, and this one right here oozes it. I cannot wait to put this on the So-So Toys Homelander, because yeah, this right here is a 10 out of 10. Now of course we do have a second sculpt to look at, and it's none other than Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa. Now of course, unfortunately, we did lose Chadwick, an amazing actor and an equally amazing person, so I wanted to do him justice in figure format, and I personally don't think the Hot Toys sculpt really achieved that. I mean, from certain angles you can argue that the likeness is there, but from others it definitely is lacking. We're bringing in this V.Collectibles sculpt. I mean, it's unequivocally him. The sculpt is on point, the texture and the pores of the skin, the hair, I mean, that likeness is pretty much perfect. Then bringing in the Hot Toys one, I mean, those who said that it was bad, I totally understand what you're saying now. I can see it. It doesn't look anywhere near as good as this one right here. In isolation, is it horrible? I mean, it's not great, but this one definitely captures that likeness bang on. So yeah, it's a huge upgrade to the sculpt. I cannot wait to pop this on the Black Panther figure. But before we do that, I want to try out the Homelander sculpt on the 1/6 scale bust I have. So without further ado, let's take a closer look. Now unfortunately, we don't have any 1/6 scale figures to pop this head sculpt onto, but I do have this gorgeous 1/6 scale bust that was also produced by V.Collectibles. Mine though was custom painted by an amazing artist on Instagram who goes by Helmbearer. I will pop his link down in the description below, because I reckon he nailed it here. This thing looks gorgeous. And then panning up to the head sculpt, yeah, this just works. I love that expression, especially from that angle right there. They nailed it. There's no two ways about it. I reckon no matter which Homelander you decide to go with, if you manage to get your hands on either this head sculpt or just the neutral expression one, it's going to be a huge upgrade over the stock sculpt. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be popping this on the figure throughout the course of that review, so definitely stay tuned. Now, even though this one and the original are sold out with V.Collectibles, I am hoping, because Homelander is a very expressive gentleman, that they decide to do another expression. Hopefully that's something that happens, and then those who want a Homelander sculpt in this high quality format, you'll be able to get one. So the easiest way to find out is definitely to check out their Instagram page, follow them, and then they should let you know when stuff is going to be up for pre-order. But I know that I personally really want to see that T'Challa head on the Hot Toys Black Panther, so let's take a closer look. Now, this happens to be the Black Panther that I've decided to use the head sculpt with, but I'm pretty sure you can use it with the Civil War figure as well. It is worth noting that the neck attachment on this Black Panther is kind of a weird one, so you will have to sort out your own neck connector for the head sculpt. I personally will be just using blue tack, I know, very crude, but for the sake of this video, I didn't have time to either purchase one or produce one to work with this body, but I still wanted to show you what it looks like because I reckon it looks awesome on this figure. But I know you all want to see it, so there it is. And honestly, this thing looks fantastic. Now, once again, because Hot Toys decided to use a super weird neck connector, there is a teeny tiny gap, but then again, that all depends on how you attach this to the body. I have just used blue tack, so it's just sitting on there very crudely, but even then, from the front, from 3/4, this looks perfect. I am so happy with how this thing turned out. I know that some people are probably going to want to display this on the DJ custom set, which means you will have to get a different body than the one that it comes with, because that one has a very short neck as well. I know that I personally am probably going to have him like this in the display for quite some time, because I've never seen a T'Challa head sculpt this spot on, and I'm pleased to report that it's not too big, it's not too small. It was, after all, designed to specifically work with the Hot Toys Black Panther body, so I think it fits and it works a treat. Do let me know what you think of this head sculpt on the body though, down in the comments below. Now, just before we wrap up, I thought, to hell with it, let's try out this head sculpt on the Civil War body, and I'm glad that I did because this looks awesome as well. Now, the neck is slightly longer on this particular suit, so it will sit up ever so slightly higher, but that doesn't ruin the look for me. Also, I know a lot of people love the proportions here. He's got very broad shoulders and he comes in with this V taper, so he's a lot more heroic and muscular. I mean, I really like this figure, but my preference is to display this head sculpt on the Solo movie suit in my Avengers Endgame display. But for those wondering, yes, if you have this suit, you absolutely can make this head sculpt work with the Civil War figure. Just wrapping up on the T'Challa and Homelander head sculpts from V.Collectibles. Now, right off the bat, I do have to say once again, they are custom handmade pieces. They're not done by an official company, they're not officially licensed, they're all done by a team of skilled artists. So do keep that in the back of your mind when you are deciding whether or not to back one of these very, very small runs of 1/6 scale head sculpts. Now, if you are looking to see what's coming out potentially next and get your name on the list before they sell out, I have included the link to V.Collectibles down in the description below. Now, he does operate on Instagram and he shares some gorgeous high-resolution photography along the way, so you do know exactly what you're going to be getting your hands on when they're eventually finished production. Now, unfortunately, the head sculpts that I featured in this video are long since sold out, so it does pay to be an early backer, so just keep that in mind. If you are heading down to the description, why not check out the link to 6 Scale Network, the awesome Facebook group. Come along, chat figures, share photos of your collection, and of course, see what's coming up next on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.